So I've gotten a lot of questions about my brown butter chocolate chunk cookies, and there's a lot of confusion around the recipe, the ingredients, the measurements. In the video, I made a double batch, but I shared ingredients and measurements for a single batch, which is what I usually do. I have to restock my freezer stash anyway, so let's make it together. So I'm gonna start by browning the butter. Oh my God, I almost fell off the ledge. So I need a cup and 2 tablespoons, which is 2 sticks and 2 tablespoons. And that's roughly 255 grams. So some people have told me that I'm not supposed to stir, but I've always stirred and it works out for me. So you do what's best for you. So once it's there, I transfer it to my measuring cup. And I like to put it in an ice bath. This is tempered glass and it hasn't shattered on me yet, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. And you want this to cool completely before you start making the dough. While the brown butter is cooling, I'm gonna measure out my dry ingredients. 2.5 cups of flour. Which is roughly 375. And I wrote 380. I'm measuring it, so okay, I'm just gonna do 380. There. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, which is also 5 grams. And 1.5 of baking powder, which is also 5 grams. Which should be 4 grams. Just whisk that together. So it's 3/4 each of white sugar and brown sugar. And then 3/4 of brown, packed. Okay, so it doesn't need to be cold, it just needs to be room temp. And you can just test by dipping your finger in it, what it should look like. In the video, I used a stand mixer. You don't need a stand mixer. I'm just gonna use my hand mixer today. So add the brown butter in with the sugar. And then I'm just gonna cream this together. We're gonna add in the eggs. And you wanna cream this together until it gets really light and airy. Then I'm gonna dissolve espresso powder with hot water. Put in the vanilla, maybe just add in the espresso. So I mix this for probably like 3 minutes, and you want it to look like that. And then I'm just gonna add in half to start. And you can mix this by hand or with the blender. I'm just gonna go slow. And I'm gonna switch to my spatula. And add in the rest. Just mix that in slowly. On my arm. This is why I use the stand mixer. Then add in the chocolate. You can also add more chocolate if you want. It smells good. Okay. Now I'm just gonna scoop it out onto a cookie sheet and then I'll pop it in the freezer. So this is a 2-inch cookie cutter, not cookie cutter, 2-inch cookie scoop. And just gonna scoop this onto my tray. And then I like to add chocolate on top so it's like super pretty. So this makes 18. So I'm gonna pop this into the freezer. If you wanna bake it right away, I would still chill it for like 15-20 minutes. The rest can probably chill for like an hour or two before you transfer them to a Ziploc. I'm gonna preheat my oven to 375. Okay, I'm gonna bake off 2, just to show you what they look like. Flake these out. So that's 11 minutes. Yeah. Okay. It's crisp on the it's crisp on the outside and chewy on the inside. The flavor is good, but it's not like concentrated. That's why I like to chill it and just let it like marinate, but it's still good. Best cookies. And I'll bake these off tomorrow, so come back for part 2.